Welcome back, courageous seekers, to day 3 of our extraordinary 30-day wisdom quest. If you've been with us since the very beginning, you've already embarked on a foundational journey towards profound personal transformation. On day 1, we courageously embraced Shoshin, the beginner's mind, a radical act of unlearning, clearing our mental slate, and cultivating an unshakable openness to new truths and fresh perspectives. We learned to empty our cup, preparing it for profound insights. Yesterday, on day 2, we ventured into the very heart of our existence, meticulously exploring Ikigai, the beautiful Japanese secret to finding your unique purpose, your compelling reason for being, and the harmonious intersection of your passions, talents, the world's needs, and your livelihood. Today, we bring these foundational concepts together, delving into a psychological phenomenon that beautifully intertwines with both Shoshin and Ikigai, providing a thrilling pathway to peak performance, effortless engagement, and profound, intrinsic joy, the flow state. Coined by the brilliant Hungarian-American psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, flow describes that elusive, exhilarating, and often mystical feeling of being so completely immersed in an activity, so utterly absorbed that you genuinely lose all sense of time, self-consciousness, and awareness of any external distractions. It's universally recognized and often referred to as being in the zone, optimal experience, or effortless action. And it is precisely in this transcendent space where human potential truly sings, where creativity flourishes, and where mastery is forged. Have you ever experienced that magical sensation of being so deeply engrossed in a task, a cherished hobby, a captivating conversation, a challenging sport, or even a profoundly creative endeavor, that hours simply melted away into what felt like mere minutes? Where the challenge presented by the activity perfectly matched and slightly stretched your skill level, and your actions felt utterly fluid, almost automatic, as if guided by an invisible hand? That transcendent experience, that blissful state of optimal consciousness, is precisely what we will not only deeply understand today, but, more importantly, how to meticulously cultivate it within your own life. By mastering the conditions for flow, you can exponentially amplify your productivity, deepen your happiness, accelerate your skill development, and powerfully propel your journey towards living your Ikigai with unparalleled vigor and profound satisfaction. Part 1. Unpacking Flow State: the science, psychology, and philosophy of optimal experience. The concept of flow was not an arbitrary invention, but was meticulously identified and rigorously researched by Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi over several decades, beginning in the 1970s. As a young psychologist, Csikszentmihalyi was profoundly shaped by his experiences as a child during World War II, witnessing the widespread despair and destruction. He found himself deeply fascinated by a singular question: what makes life worth living? What leads to genuine happiness and profound fulfillment, moving beyond mere fleeting pleasure or the absence of pain? He embarked on an ambitious journey, studying thousands of individuals across an incredibly diverse spectrum of fields: artists, athletes, surgeons, chess masters, rock climbers, composers, scientists, writers, even ordinary people engaged in hobbies like gardening or cooking. Consistently, he observed a recurring pattern. When these individuals described moments of their peak experience, moments where they felt most alive, engaged, and effective, they articulated a remarkably similar, almost universal, constellation of sensations. They spoke of a feeling of complete absorption, effortless action, an exhilarating merging with the activity, and a deep, intrinsic enjoyment. It was this pervasive, optimal human experience that he aptly termed flow. Csikszentmihalyi's seminal definition of flow remains the gold standard, a state in which people are so involved in an activity that nothing else seems to matter. The experience itself is so enjoyable that people will continue to do it even at great cost, for the sheer sake of doing it. This profound concept introduced the idea of an autotelic experience, The word autotelic is derived from the Greek auto and telos. Thus, an autotelic activity is one that is an end in itself. It is intrinsically rewarding. The activity is its own reward. You engage in it for the pure joy of the process itself, not primarily for external benefits, monetary compensation, accolades, or recognition. This contrasts sharply with exotelic activities, which are done for an external reward. While flow can lead to external rewards, those are secondary. The primary motivation is the inherent, profound enjoyment of the experience itself. Flow is fundamentally distinct from merely being busy, working hard, or even being productive in a detached way. You can be frantically busy and feel bored, exhausted, or deeply anxious. Flow, however, exists in a precise and optimal psychological space. Csikszentmihalyi, through his extensive research, meticulously identified 9 core characteristics that consistently define and reliably predict the emergence of the flow state. Let's delve into each one with greater depth, understanding their interplay and individual power. 1. Clear goals. When you are in flow, there is an absolute clarity about what needs to be achieved, and the immediate, actionable steps required to progress towards that goal are intuitively apparent, even if challenging. The objective isn't vague or ambiguous. It is highly specific, well-defined, and intensely actionable. This clarity acts as a powerful beacon, providing unwavering focus and direction, effectively eliminating the mental clutter and uncertainty that can often lead to hesitation, distraction, or paralysis. Deep dive. Think of a master archer. Their goal is crystal clear. Hit the bullseye. Each micro-adjustment of their stance, their grip, their breath, is directly linked to that ultimate objective. Or a seasoned mountain climber. The next handhold, the precise sequence of moves on the rock face, the optimal balance point, is clearly, viscerally defined. This profound clarity frees the mind from unnecessary decision-making, allowing energy to coalesce around the task. Goals here are not just about the final outcome, but also about the precise, immediate steps. The brain thrives on clear targets, as it optimizes resource allocation for focused execution. 2. Immediate and unambiguous feedback. In a flow state, you receive continuous, real-time, and unambiguous information about how well you're performing. There is no waiting for a quarterly performance review, an external judge's score, or a lagging metric to tell you how you're doing. The activity itself provides constant, direct feedback on your progress and efficacy. Deep dive. A concert violinist instantly hears whether they hit the perfect note with the right tone and resonance. A basketball player immediately sees if the ball swishes through the net or clangs off the rim. A writer directly observes the words appearing on the page, knowing immediately if they capture the intended meaning and flow. This continuous, immediate feedback loop allows for instant, intuitive adjustment, correction, and refinement of your approach in real time, pulling you deeper and deeper into the task. It's a dynamic, uninterrupted conversation between your action and its immediate, tangible outcome, reinforcing effective strategies and allowing for effortless course correction. 3. A perceived balance between challenge and skill. This is arguably the most crucial and defining characteristic of flow, beautifully visualized by the flow channel model. The activity must be precisely challenging enough to effectively stretch your current abilities, to demand your full engagement, but critically, it must not be so overwhelmingly difficult that it leads to debilitating frustration, anxiety, or panic. Simultaneously, your current skills must be demonstrably adequate to meet the demands of the challenge, but not so superior that the task becomes trivial, boring, or monotonous. Deep dive. Imagine a tightrope walker. If the rope is too low to the ground, they'll be bored. If the rope is impossibly high with no safety net, they'll be paralyzed by anxiety. Flow exists in that exquisite sweet spot, the flow channel, where the challenge slightly exceeds your current skill level, prompting you to engage, stretch, and grow. This subtle, invigorating tension is what truly propels you forward. This dynamic balance is why the beginner's mind from day one is so intrinsically vital for sustained flow. It encourages you to constantly seek new, slightly more demanding challenges and embrace continuous growth rather than remaining stagnant within the confines of what you already know and master. When challenge greatly outweighs skill, you experience anxiety. When skill greatly outweighs challenge, you experience boredom. Other states like apathy, relaxation, and arousal control exist around the flow channel, but only flow combines peak challenge with peak engagement and effortless control. 4. Merging of action and awareness. You become so profoundly, seamlessly absorbed in the task that your actions and your conscious awareness of those actions merge into one utterly seamless, integrated experience. There is no internal monologue judging your performance, no self-conscious reflection, no deliberate planning of your next move. You are simply doing, and the doing is happening through you. Deep dive. Consider a seasoned dancer whose intricate movements are fluid, graceful, and expressive, seemingly occurring without any conscious thought or deliberation. Or a master chef whose hands move with incredible precision and speed, guided by intuition, muscle memory, and years of dedicated practice. The often present internal critic, that voice of doubt or judgment, completely falls silent. The doer and the doing become utterly indistinguishable, a state of perfect unity. This profound automaticity typically emerges from deep practice, intense concentration, and repeated engagement, allowing the subconscious mind to take over the minute details, freeing the conscious mind for higher-level engagement. Neuroscientifically, this is linked to transient hypofrontality, a temporary deactivation of the prefrontal cortex, which allows for effortless action and a reduction of self-criticism. 5. Intense, focused concentration on the task at hand. Your entire attention is completely, utterly, and singularly focused on the activity you are engaged in, with all irrelevant thoughts, extraneous worries, and external distractions fading completely into the background, effectively disappearing from your awareness. Your mind does not wander to anxieties about the past, regrets about previous actions, or concerns about future outcomes. It is fully, perfectly, and vibrantly present in the immediate moment. Deep dive. This intense, laser-like focus is often a natural byproduct of the optimal challenge-skill balance. When you are operating precisely within the flow channel, the demands of the task are just engaging enough to naturally capture and hold your full, undivided attention. This characteristic directly links back to day one's Shoshin and the profound practice of mindfulness, the ability to be fully present, to observe without judgment, and to let go of mental clutter. This single-minded focus is what allows for deep, sustained engagement and the suppression of distracting internal and external stimuli. 6. Loss of self-consciousness. In the flow state, your individual ego, your sense of a separate self, genuinely dissolves. You are no longer preoccupied with how you're performing, how you appear to others, what you look like, or what anyone else might be thinking of you. The nagging fear of failure, the pervasive desire for external validation, or the self-critical internal monologue vanishes. You become, in essence, one with the activity itself. Deep dive. This isn't self-forgetfulness in a negative or dissociative sense, but rather a profoundly liberating liberation from the often burdensome constraints of the ego. Athletes often describe this as getting out of their own head. Artists experience a sense of being a channel for their creation, rather than the sole creator. This allows for pure, uninhibited expression, spontaneous action, and optimal performance, unmarred by self-doubt or concern for image. It is a moment where you are purely and fully engaged in the act of being. 7. Transformation of time perception. When you are deeply, utterly engrossed in a flow state, your perception of time becomes profoundly distorted. Hours can genuinely feel like mere minutes, or conversely, a single critical moment can feel like an eternity, allowing for hyper-focused decision-making. Deep dive. This characteristic is one of the most commonly reported and clearest indicators that you are experiencing a profound state of optimal engagement. The external clock ceases to matter because your internal experience of time has completely shifted. This phenomenon highlights how powerful and absorbing the flow state is, essentially hijacking your brain's normal time-tracking mechanisms and immersing you fully in the timeless present. 8. Autotelic experience. As discussed, the activity in flow is undertaken for its own sake, for the sheer joy and satisfaction derived from the process itself, not primarily for external rewards, external recognition, or financial gain. The intrinsic reward system of the brain is powerfully activated. Deep dive. This is a crucial distinction. While flow can, and often does, lead to highly desirable external rewards, those outcomes are genuinely secondary. The primary, driving motivation is the inherent, visceral enjoyment of the activity itself. This profound characteristic directly connects to Ikigai when you genuinely discover your purpose. The activities that authentically constitute your Ikigai are almost always inherently autotelic, driven by an internal compass rather than external incentives. 9. Sense of effortless control. While deeply absorbed, and perhaps feeling as if the action is happening through you, you simultaneously maintain a profound, effortless sense of control over your actions and the unfolding outcome of the activity. This isn't necessarily about dominating the situation or brute forcing results, but about a comfortable, intuitive mastery within the parameters of the task. Deep dive. A master surgeon feels complete, intuitive control over their delicate instruments, even when performing complex procedures. A prolific writer feels an effortless command over their words, shaping them precisely to convey meaning. This doesn't mean the task is easy or without challenge, but that you feel deeply competent, capable, and in charge of your execution within the demands of the situation. This sense of agency contributes to the overall positive and invigorating nature of the flow experience. Understanding these 9 meticulously defined characteristics provides a deeply insightful and eminently practical framework for not just identifying when you are in flow, but for consciously and deliberately cultivating the conditions that reliably lead to its emergence in your own life. Part 2. The profound, multidimensional benefits of cultivating flow, living at your peak of well-being and performance cultivating. The flow state is far more than just about experiencing momentary enjoyment. It yields profound, cascading benefits that ripple through every facet of your existence, enriching your well-being, accelerating your growth, amplifying your impact, and deepening your sense of meaning. It's a powerful, accessible tool for personal mastery, self-actualization, and living a life of profound and enduring satisfaction. 1. Enhanced performance and exponential productivity. This is perhaps one of the most immediate, compelling, and tangible benefits that draws many to the study of flow. When you are immersed in a flow state, you are quite literally operating at your absolute cognitive, creative, and often physical peak. Your focus is singular and absolute. Your actions are precise and efficient, and your problem-solving abilities are dramatically amplified. You don't just complete tasks faster. You execute them with significantly higher quality, greater ingenuity, and fewer errors. Deep dive. Rigorous studies on elite athletes consistently demonstrate that being in the zone directly correlates with record-breaking performance and unparalleled competitive advantage. Similarly, software engineers and programmers in flow states report writing code at rates up to 5 times faster and with remarkably fewer bugs than in their normal working state. Writers produce their most compelling, eloquent, and impactful work. This isn't about forced effort, frantic pace, or exhausting exertion. It's about a state of effortless efficiency where the right actions, the optimal solutions, and the most compelling ideas unfold naturally and automatically. A groundbreaking study conducted by McKinsey and Company among top executives revealed that individuals reported being up to 5 times more productive when in flow states, translating to a potential 500% increase in output. Imagine the transformative impact of consistently applying that exponential amplification to your own most crucial tasks and aspirations. 2. Increased well-being and authentic, sustainable happiness. The very intrinsic nature of flow is its profound reward. The experience itself is deeply enjoyable, leading to a form of genuine, sustainable happiness that transcends mere fleeting pleasures or transient excitement. It's a pervasive sense of deep satisfaction, profound engagement, and meaningful fulfillment that resonates long after the flow state subsides. Deep dive. Csikszentmihalyi's extensive research consistently found that people report feeling happiest and most profoundly fulfilled not during passive leisure, but precisely during activities where they are actively challenged, deeply engaged, and are pushing the boundaries of their skills, often within a flow state. This type of happiness is robust, resilient, and inherently self-sustaining, derived from intrinsic meaning and meaningful engagement, rather than external gratification or fleeting sensory inputs. It acts as a powerful antidote to feelings of apathy, chronic boredom, existential meaninglessness, and psychological stagnation. It taps into eudaimonic happiness, which is happiness derived from living a life of meaning and purpose, rather than just hedonic happiness, which is about pleasure. 3. Accelerated skill development and rapid mastery. Because the flow state inherently occurs at the leading edge of your abilities, it acts as an incredibly powerful catalyst for accelerated learning, rapid skill acquisition, and true mastery. You are constantly pushing your boundaries in a way that feels invigorating, exciting, and profoundly engaging, rather than overwhelming or intimidating. Deep dive. Every time you consciously enter and sustain a flow state, you are effectively stretching your cognitive, physical, and creative capabilities in a precisely optimal manner. This gentle yet persistent pushing literally strengthens existing neural pathways, helps forge new ones, refines techniques, deepens your intuitive understanding, and automates complex processes. Athletes improve faster, acquiring complex motor skills more efficiently. When they train and perform in flow, students learn challenging new subjects more effectively, retaining information better, and making deeper connections when they are deeply absorbed in the material. It's a virtuous, self-reinforcing loop of actively seeking slightly harder challenges, consciously entering flow, incrementally mastering the skill, and then naturally seeking the next, slightly more demanding challenge, propelling you towards continuous mastery. 4. Profound stress reduction and crystal clear mental clarity. One of the most immediate and therapeutic benefits of flow is its ability to silence the incessant noise of daily worries and anxieties. When you are fully immersed in an activity within the flow state, your mind literally has no cognitive bandwidth left for external stressors, future anxieties, past regrets, or self-critical thoughts. Your singular focus is entirely, absolutely, and unequivocally on the task at hand. Deep dive. This profound immersion provides a powerful, often much-needed escape from the relentless pressures and mental clutter of daily life. It functions as a form of active, highly engaged meditation, where your brain is so intensely focused on the demands of the task that it effectively silences the chatter of the default mode network, the part of the brain responsible for mind-wandering, self-referential thought, rumination, and worrying about the past or future. This temporary deactivation leads to profound mental clarity, drastically reduced rumination, and a completely revitalized, re-energized mind once you emerge from the flow state. You often feel refreshed, clear-headed, and a deep sense of calm, as if you've had a profound mental reset. 5. Amplified creativity and revolutionary problem-solving. The unique combination of the merging of action and awareness, coupled with intense, undivided concentration and the liberating dissolution of self-consciousness, creates an absolutely ideal psychological and neurological environment for genuine creative breakthroughs and innovative problem-solving. Deep dive. When the often loud internal critic is silenced, when the mind is fully focused on the intricate nuances of the task, and when the subconscious is allowed to play freely, you gain an unparalleled ability to connect disparate ideas, to perceive novel solutions, and to express yourself with greater originality and authenticity. Many of the world's most acclaimed artists, prolific writers, and revolutionary scientists consistently report that their most profound creative insights, their aha moments, and their most elegant solutions to complex problems occur precisely during periods of deep, uninterrupted, focused work that powerfully resembles the flow state. This is where truly out-of-the-box thinking, genuine lateral thinking, and transformative innovations spontaneously occur, uninhibited by conventional restraints. 6. Authenticity and accelerated self-actualization. Consistently engaging in activities that reliably bring you into flow often aligns directly and intimately with your deepest interests, your inherent talents, and your core values. This active, joyful engagement with your true, authentic self is a powerful, direct pathway to self-actualization, the profound psychological process of becoming the fullest, most complete expression of who you are meant to be. Deep dive. Your personal flow experiences serve as invaluable indicators and profound signals from your authentic self. They reveal your natural inclinations, highlight the activities where your unique skills can be most effectively and joyfully expressed, and point you towards where your true potential lies. When you consistently follow the trail of your flow experiences, you are, in essence, following the magnetic pull of your authentic self, consciously aligning your actions with your innermost being. This directly and powerfully intersects with Ikigai. Flow can be a strong, reliable diagnostic tool, a living compass, revealing what you truly love and what you are genuinely good at, both of which are core components of your unique purpose. By consciously seeking and integrating more flow into your life, you are actively choosing to live more authentically, more truly, and more fully. 7. Deeper meaning and profound fulfillment. Activities that reliably bring you into flow are intrinsically rewarding. When these deeply engaging activities also align harmoniously with your personal Ikigai, the sense of meaning and enduring fulfillment is amplified exponentially, creating a truly rich and vibrant life experience. Deep dive. Imagine a dedicated surgeon who finds immense flow in a complex, life-saving operation, knowing that their highly refined skill directly contributes to preserving a human life. Or an artist who enters profound flow while creating a powerful piece of art that speaks to a significant social need or illuminates a universal truth. In these instances, the profound joy of the activity itself seamlessly combines with the deep, spiritual satisfaction of meaningful contribution. This powerful synergy creates an almost inexhaustible, highly potent, and ultimately sustainable source of holistic well-being and profound life satisfaction. This is precisely where the quality of your life transcends mere existence and truly blossoms into a vibrant, purposeful, and deeply meaningful journey. By intentionally understanding and integrating the conditions for flow into various aspects of your life, you are not passively waiting for fleeting moments of joy or sporadic bursts of productivity. You are actively and consciously designing a life that is fundamentally more vibrant, profoundly purposeful, inherently engaging, and exquisitely satisfying. Part 3. Cultivating your flow state, your practical blueprint for effortless mastery and deep engagement. While the experience of flow often feels utterly effortless and spontaneous when you're immersed in it, it is by no means purely accidental or reliant on chance. There are clear, evidence-based, actionable strategies and specific environmental conditions you can meticulously create and consistently maintain to significantly increase your chances of reliably entering and sustaining the highly desirable flow state. Remember to approach these practical exercises with the unwavering spirit of the beginner's mind, open to experimentation, free from rigid expectations, and willing to embrace iterative learning. 1. Define crystal clear goals and precisely specific subtasks. Ambiguity, uncertainty, and a lack of clear direction are the undisputed enemies of flow. Before you begin any task, no matter how small or large, ensure you know with absolute clarity exactly what you're trying to achieve. For larger, more complex goals, it is imperative to break them down into smaller, highly manageable, and distinctly defined subtasks. Why it works. Clear, precise goals provide an immediate, unwavering focus and a compelling sense of direction. They eliminate mental clutter and decision fatigue, allowing your energy and attention to coalesce around the immediate objective. The brain thrives on clear targets as it optimizes neural resource allocation for efficient, focused execution. Actionable step. Before starting any work session or engaging in a chosen activity, commit to writing down 1 to 3 highly specific, measurable, and achievable objectives for the next 60 to 90 minutes. For instance, instead of the vague work on report, commit to something like complete section 2.1 of the Q2 sales report, meticulously analyzing market trends and drafting the executive summary for this section by 11:30 a.m. For a creative project, it could be complete the first draft of Chapter 3, focusing solely on character dialogue by 7 p.m. 2. Design for immediate and unambiguous feedback loops. Structure your activities in such a way that you receive instant, direct, and unambiguous information on your progress, performance, and accuracy. Why it works. Immediate feedback allows for continuous, real-time adjustments and refinements, keeping you deeply engaged, preventing frustration, and reinforcing correct actions. It effectively closes the cognitive loop, providing constant validation or guidance. Actionable step. If your chosen task doesn't naturally provide immediate, clear feedback, you must consciously create it. For writing, use a word counter or set a timer for specific sections. For coding, run small test cases frequently. For learning a new skill, create mini quizzes for yourself after each learning block. For a complex project, establish distinct, micro milestones that you can physically check off, providing a continuous visual progress report. 3. Meticulously calibrate the challenge-skill balance. This is perhaps the single most critical and nuanced element for reliably triggering flow. Why it works. This exquisite balance ensures you remain precisely engaged without succumbing to either boredom or debilitating anxiety. It gently yet persistently stretches your abilities, constantly propelling you towards growth and mastery in an invigorating, enjoyable manner. Actionable step. Oh, if you're experiencing boredom, your skills are exceeding the demands of the task. Consciously increase the difficulty. Set a tighter time constraint, try a new, more advanced technique, introduce a new complex variable, learn a more challenging concept within the activity, or commit to a higher quality standard. Oh, if you're experiencing anxiety, the task is currently overwhelming your capabilities. Consciously reduce the perceived difficulty. Break the daunting task down into much smaller, simpler, more manageable steps. Seek immediate help, guidance, or additional resources. Practice the foundational, prerequisite skills first to build competence. Reduce the scope of the immediate objective to make it feel achievable. The goal is to ensure the challenge is always slightly beyond your comfort zone, but well within your learning zone. Oh, the growth zone. Aim for tasks that are approximately 4% more challenging than your current demonstrated skill level. Csikszentmihalyi's research suggests this is the statistically optimal stretch zone for consistently inducing flow and accelerating learning. This is where you grow without breaking. 4. Eliminate all distractions. Flow demands and thrives on absolute, undivided attention. Any interruption, no matter how seemingly small or insignificant, can catastrophically break the delicate flow state and can take significant time to regain. Why it works. Minimizing distractions allows your brain to fully immerse itself in the task at hand, preventing costly cognitive switching and fragmented attention. Actionable step. Digital detox protocols. Implement rigorous digital detox routines. Turn off all phone notifications. Place your phone in another room or on airplane mode for dedicated work blocks. Close all unnecessary tabs and applications on your computer. Utilize website and application blockers for unproductive sites during your flow periods. Physical environment optimization. Meticulously ensure your workspace is clean, organized, uncluttered, and specifically conducive to deep concentration. Minimize visual stimuli that might pull your attention away. Communicate and protect your time. If possible, proactively inform colleagues, housemates, or family members that you are entering a focus zone and respectfully request not to be disturbed for a set period. Use a visible "Do Not Disturb" sign. Noise control. Invest in high-quality noise-canceling headphones. Listen to carefully selected ambient music without lyrics, or seek out a naturally quiet physical space. 5. Leverage mindfulness and intentional presence techniques. The foundational ability to fully immerse yourself in the present moment is a direct, reliable gateway to the flow state. This powerfully reinforces and leverages the principles of Shoshin from day one. Why it works. Mindful practice actively quiets the ceaseless internal chatter, reduces mental fragmentation, and anchors your entire attention to the here and now, which is absolutely essential for deep, sustained concentration. Actionable step. Before beginning any flow-inducing activity, dedicate a specific 2 to 5 minute interval for a brief, intentional mindfulness exercise. Focus your entire awareness on your breath, feeling each inhale and exhale. Notice the subtle sensations in your body as you sit or stand. Mindfully observe a single object in your immediate surroundings without judgment. This deliberate grounding prepares your mind for deep, focused work. Periodically, during the task, briefly check in with your breath or a sensory anchor to gently re-anchor your attention if you notice it wandering. 6. Establish powerful pre-activity rituals and triggers. Our brains are highly attuned to patterns and routines. Consistently establish a clear, repeatable ritual that you perform immediately before you begin a flow-inducing activity. Why it works. Rituals serve as powerful psychological signals to your brain, indicating that it's time to shift from a diffused state to a highly focused, engaged state, thereby significantly increasing the ease with which you can enter flow. They create a mental on-ramp. Actionable step. Your personal flow ritual can be incredibly simple, but must be consistent. Make a specific type of tea or coffee. Put on a particular instrumental playlist. Clear your desk of all non-essential items. Perform a series of quick stretches or review your defined goals for the session. By doing this consistently, your brain will neurologically associate this specific ritual with entering a state of deep focus and optimal performance. 7. Embrace deliberate practice and consistent repetition for mastery. While the experience of flow feels inherently effortless, it fundamentally arises from a solid foundation of deep practice, refined skill, and a growing level of mastery. Why it works. Mastery allows complex actions to become increasingly automatic and intuitive, effectively freeing up precious conscious thought and cognitive resources for higher-level problem-solving, nuanced decision-making, or profound creative expression. The merging of action and awareness is built upon this foundation of practiced competence. Actionable step. Commit to regular, focused, and deliberate practice in your chosen domain. This is not mere mindless repetition, but intentional practice specifically aimed at improving discrete skills, addressing weaknesses, and extending your capabilities. The more competent and proficient you become, the more readily and consistently you'll slip into flow when presented with the appropriate level of challenge. 8. Break down complex tasks into manageable chunks. Large, daunting, or seemingly overwhelming projects can trigger anxiety and effectively prevent the emergence of flow. Why it works. The psychological principle of chunking makes the challenge feel manageable and approachable, allowing you to focus your entire attention on one clear, achievable micro goal at a time. This directly facilitates the crucial challenge-skill balance. Actionable step. For any task that feels intimidating or too large, consciously break it down into the smallest possible, distinct, and achievable components. Focus intensely on completing just one chunk at a time, celebrating each small completion as a form of immediate feedback and motivation. For example, instead of write a book, think outline chapter 1, then draft introduction of chapter 1, then revise paragraph 1 of introduction. 9. Leverage novelty and strategic complexity. To sustain flow over time and prevent tasks from becoming boring, you must periodically introduce new elements or increase the complexity. Why it works. The brain thrives on novelty and appropriate challenge. Introducing new twists or complexities keeps the challenge-skill balance within the flow channel, preventing stagnation and boredom. Actionable step. Once you've mastered a skill or task, don't just repeat it. Try doing it faster, with new constraints, with a higher standard, or by incorporating a new technique. If you're learning a language, move from basic phrases to more complex sentence structures. If you're cooking, try a new, more advanced recipe. 10. Utilize physical activity and natural environments. Sometimes, the most effective way to prime your mind and body for flow is to first engage your physical being. Why it works. Physical activity, even moderate, can significantly clear mental fog, reduce accumulated stress, improve blood flow to the brain, and enhance overall cognitive function. Being immersed in natural environments has also been shown to restore attention, reduce mental fatigue, and promote a state of calm focus. Actionable step. Before attempting a cognitively demanding flow activity, take a brisk 15 to 30-minute walk, engage in some light stretching, or do a short burst of cardio. If possible, choose a natural setting for this warm-up. Many creatives and thinkers find their aha moments and clarity during walks in nature. 11. Implement pre-commitment strategies. Make it harder for your future self to procrastinate or get distracted. Why it works. Pre-commitment removes the need for willpower in the moment of starting, making it easier to enter the flow state. Actionable step. Tell someone your plan. Use a public timer. Set a rule for yourself. Remove temptation physically. 12. Practice post-flow reflection and capture insights. The learning doesn't stop when flow ends. Why it works. Intentionally reviewing your flow experiences helps you understand your triggers, barriers, and any insights gained. It solidifies learning. Actionable step. Immediately after a flow session, take 5 minutes to journal. Oh, what was I doing? How did it feel? Oh, what specifically helped me enter flow? Oh, what challenges did I overcome? What insights did I gain? Oh, how can I replicate these conditions tomorrow? 13. Optimize energy management for sustained flow. Flow is mentally and sometimes physically demanding. It requires optimal cognitive resources. Why it works. Adequate sleep, proper nutrition, and consistent physical activity are the fundamental building blocks for consistent, high-quality cognitive function, which is essential for entering and sustaining flow. Actionable step. Prioritize 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep. Ensure your diet provides sustained energy. Integrate regular exercise into your weekly routine. Avoid excessive sugar or caffeine crashes that can disrupt focus. Phase 5. Overcoming common barriers to flow. navigating the resistance even with the best intentions and strategies. Resistance to flow is common. Recognizing these barriers and having specific counter-strategies is crucial. Procrastination, often a fear of the task's difficulty or the perceived effort. Counter, use the 5-minute rule. Break down the task into micro-chunks. Utilize pre-commitment strategies. Remind yourself of the joy of flow, not just the task itself. Distraction, the biggest enemy. Counter, implement rigorous distraction elimination strategies. For internal distractions, keep a thought dump notepad next to you. Jot it down quickly and return to the task. Fear of failure, perfectionism, can make you hesitant to start or paralyze you during the task. Counter, embrace the beginner's mind. Focus on learning and process, not perfect outcome. Remind yourself that flow thrives on being at the edge of your skill, meaning mistakes are part of the learning. Set a low initial bar for completion. Mental fatigue, burnout, trying to force flow when your cognitive resources are depleted. Counter, flow requires mental energy. Prioritize rest, sleep, proper nutrition, and breaks. Don't push for flow when genuinely exhausted. Instead, focus on restorative activities. Lack of clarity, unsure what to do or how to do it. Counter, go back to step 1. Define clear, small goals. Research or learn the foundational skills needed for the immediate step. External pressure, interruption-heavy environment. Counter, actively communicate your need for focus. Find times when interruptions are naturally lowest. Advocate for deep work periods if you have influence in your workplace. By consistently applying these comprehensive strategies and actively addressing common barriers, you are not waiting passively for flow to happen. You are consciously, deliberately, and powerfully inviting it into every aspect of your life. Part 4. Flow state in action, real-world manifestations and universal applications across diverse domains. The profound beauty and compelling universality of flow lie in its capacity to transcend age, culture, profession, and even initial skill level. It is not an exclusive privilege reserved for elite athletes, genius artists, or high-flying executives. It is a fundamental human experience, deeply accessible to anyone willing to meticulously cultivate its optimal conditions. Let's explore in greater detail how flow magnificently manifests across various, often disparate, domains, illustrating its pervasive influence and profound impact on human potential. 1. Artists and musicians, the crucible of creative transcendence for countless artists, musicians, writers, and designers. Flow is not merely a desirable state. It is the very essence, the lifeblood, of their creative process. A painter might spend hours, indeed days, utterly absorbed in front of a vast canvas, their brushstrokes becoming a seamless, intuitive extension of their innermost thoughts and emotions, the vibrant colors blending and interacting seemingly without conscious effort. A master musician, whether a soloist or part of an ensemble, might describe the mystical feeling of their instrument disappearing, becoming a pure conduit for sound, as they effortlessly improvise, compose, or perform, expressing profound emotion and complex narratives that words alone simply cannot convey. Case study: consider Yo-Yo Ma, the world-renowned cellist. He frequently articulates how his performances and practice sessions are profound moments of complete immersion, where the intricate music flows through him, transcending any conscious effort or self-awareness. His goal is always crystalline feedback, is immediate and continuous, and the challenge of mastering such a complex instrument is perfectly matched by his immense skill. For him, the very act of making music is deeply autotelic, driven by an intrinsic, boundless love for the craft and an unyielding desire to communicate universal, human experience through the exquisite medium of sound. This is flow in its purest, most sublime artistic form, a testament to the power of absorbed creative genius. 2. Athletes, the zone of peak performance and physical mastery in the demanding world of sports. The flow state is universally recognized and revered as being in the zone. It is the pinnacle of athletic achievement, a state where an athlete's physical actions become incredibly fluid, intuitive, and perfectly synchronized with the dynamic demands of the game or competition. Case study: recall Michael Jordan in his absolute prime during those legendary game-winning moments. He famously described the game slowing down around him, the defenders moving in what felt like slow motion, allowing him to react with impossible speed, pinpoint accuracy, and unparalleled precision. His goal was always crystal clear. Feedback was instantaneous, and the challenge of the moment was impeccably matched by his immense home skill. This transcendent state enabled him to execute incredibly complex maneuvers with effortless grace, achieving a level of performance that often seemed superhuman, defying conventional limits. This isn't merely physical prowess. It is a profound mental state of absolute focus, unwavering clarity, and complete unity with the game itself. 3. Surgeons and highly skilled professionals. Precision under immense pressure in high-stakes professions where uncompromising precision, unwavering focus, and critical decision-making under extreme pressure are absolutely paramount. Flow is not merely desirable. It is utterly essential for optimal outcomes. Case study: imagine a highly experienced surgeon performing a delicate, intricate operation that lasts for many hours. They describe entering a state of intense, almost meditative concentration where their hands move instinctively, guided by years of rigorous training, vast experience, and continuous, immediate feedback from the patient's body. Distractions from the operating room fade into an imperceptible hum. The immense pressure of the moment is absorbed entirely into the focused task at hand, and time seems to stretch or compress in extraordinary ways. Their goal is unequivocally clear, feedback is constant, and their world-class skill meets the life-or-death challenge. This state allows for error-free, ultra-precise, and optimal performance in the most critical and demanding moments. Similarly, a pilot landing a commercial aircraft in challenging weather conditions, a financial trader making instantaneous, high-stakes decisions, or a firefighter navigating a burning building all experience a form of life or death. Flow, everyday flow, unlocking joy and meaning in the mundane crucially. Flow is emphatically not limited to extraordinary feats performed by a select few. Its beauty lies in its profound accessibility. You can, and should, find it in the rhythm of your daily life, transforming what might otherwise be perceived as mundane tasks into profound sources of deep engagement, intrinsic satisfaction, and even joy. Cooking, baking. For a passionate chef or an enthusiastic home cook, meticulously preparing a complex multi-course meal or intricately decorating a cake can be a profound flow experience. The clear goal is the perfect dish, feedback is immediate, and the challenge of balancing ingredients, techniques, and timing perfectly meets their developing skill. Gardening, craftsmanship. Tending a garden with mindful attention, carefully pruning delicate plants, sowing seeds, or constructing a piece of furniture by hand can lead to deep flow. The gardener craftsperson is singularly focused on the living material, or the evolving form feedback is seen in the plant's response, or the precision of the cut and the challenge of nurturing life or mastering a craft meets their developing skills. Writing, coding, problem solving. For a writer crafting a compelling narrative, a programmer debugging a complex algorithm, or a researcher solving an intricate scientific puzzle, hours can vanish as they become completely absorbed in the logic, creativity, and systematic unfolding of their work. The inherent challenge of the problem pulls them into the zone. Parenting, caregiving. A parent or caregiver deeply engaged in imaginative play with their child, fully present, responsive, and attuned, can experience a beautiful and profound form of relational flow, where time disappears and their connection and joy deepen exponentially. Similarly, a caregiver finding deep meaning in the intimate, repetitive tasks of caring for a loved one. Cleaning, organizing, even seemingly tedious household chores can be transformed into flow-inducing activities if approached with a beginner's mind. By focusing intently on the sensations, the rhythm of the movements, and the clear goal of tidiness or organization, the task can become a meditative, surprisingly engaging, and deeply satisfying experience. 5. Collective flow. Synchronicity and harmony in teams and groups. While flow is often described as an individual experience, it can also manifest as a shared, synergistic state among groups or teams, leading to unparalleled collaborative performance. Case study: a seasoned jazz ensemble improvising together on stage, each musician perfectly attuned to the subtle cues, melodic nuances, and rhythmic shifts of their bandmates, can experience profound collective flow. Each musician's individual skill, immediate feedback from the others, and focused contributions synergistically combine to create a coherent, evolving musical tapestry that is far greater, more spontaneous, and more resonant than the sum of its individual parts. Similarly, a high-performing business team collaborating on an intense, challenging project where communication is fluid, trust is high, and every member is deeply engaged in their specific contribution, can enter a state of collective flow, leading to extraordinary, innovative outcomes and a heightened sense of shared accomplishment. This state of collective flow is increasingly sought after in modern organizational design. The flow economy and organizational wellness. Increasingly, progressive companies and forward-thinking organizations are actively studying and implementing strategies to consciously foster environments conducive to flow for their employees. They recognize that flow is not just a driver of peak productivity, but also a powerful antidote to burnout, a key to higher employee satisfaction, enhanced creativity, and greater overall organizational resilience. By strategically designing workspaces, structuring tasks, and cultivating team dynamics that inherently align with flow principles, they aim to systematically tap into this powerful human state for both individual well-being and collective organizational benefit. This isn't just about maximizing output. It's about fundamentally making work more engaging, more fulfilling, and more profoundly meaningful. By intentionally understanding, cultivating, and consistently applying the conditions for flow in various aspects of your life, you are not passively waiting for sporadic moments of joy or random bursts of productivity. You are actively, consciously, and skillfully designing a life that is fundamentally more vibrant, profoundly purposeful, intrinsically engaging, and exquisitely satisfying at every turn. Part 5. The Journey Ahead. Flow as a catalyst for Ikigai. Resilience and living fully. The flow state is far more than just a fleeting moment of peak performance or an isolated psychological phenomenon. It is a profound, accessible human experience that serves as an incredibly powerful catalyst for both deep self-discovery and the sustained, vibrant pursuit of a truly meaningful life. The intrinsic connection between flow, shoshin, and Ikigai is deeply synergistic, creating a powerful, self-reinforcing loop of continuous growth, profound fulfillment, and sustained well-being. Flow as a diagnostic tool and pathway to Ikigai. When you reliably experience flow, it acts as a potent internal signal from your deepest, most authentic self. Those specific activities where challenge perfectly meets skill, where you lose yourself completely, and where you experience profound, intrinsic joy, are often direct and powerful clues to your Ikigai. They serve as reliable indicators of what you truly love to do, what you are genuinely, effortlessly good at, and where your unique contribution might lie. By consciously paying attention to when and where you experience flow most consistently and intensely, you gain invaluable, first-hand insights into your authentic self, your innate inclinations, and your unique purpose. It's like your internal compass vibrating strongest and most clearly when you are truly in your element. deeply aligned with your true calling. Flow can be a living feedback mechanism, revealing where your deepest purpose naturally resides. Flow is a consistent indicator and a living compass. Actively use your flow experiences as a practical, reliable compass for guiding your life choices and priorities. If a particular activity or domain consistently brings you into flow, it is highly likely a strong candidate for being a core component of your evolving Ikigai. Conversely, if an activity, despite its external rewards, rarely or never leads to flow, it might be a subtle but important signal that it is not truly aligned with your authentic self or deeper purpose, even if it falls squarely within your profession circle. By consciously prioritizing opportunities to enter flow, you are actively and deliberately orienting your life towards deeper engagement, greater fulfillment, and genuine purpose. The dynamic and virtuous relationship. It's a beautiful, reinforcing cycle. 1. Living your Ikigai often leads to more opportunities for flow because you are intentionally engaging in activities that are inherently aligned with your true self, your core values, and your deepest sense of purpose. When you're passionate about what you do, and it meets a need, you're naturally more inclined to immerse yourself. 2. In turn, consistently experiencing flow profoundly reinforces your sense of purpose, validates your choices, accelerates your skill development, and deepens your unwavering commitment to your Ikigai. The joy and effectiveness of flow make you want to pursue your purpose even more. This creates a powerful synergistic feedback loop where flow enhances meaning, and meaning, in turn, enhances the potential and depth of flow. This dynamic relationship is where the quality of your life transcends mere existence and truly blossoms into a vibrant, purposeful, and deeply satisfying journey. Flow and resilience. The profound mental clarity, stress reduction, and sense of effortless control experienced in flow states also serve as invaluable assets for building resilience, a topic we will delve into tomorrow. By regularly entering flow, you train your mind to focus under pressure, to silence internal noise, and to operate effectively even in challenging situations. This mental fortitude, honed in the joyful crucible of flow, provides a robust foundation for navigating life's inevitable adversities with grace and strength, rather than being overwhelmed. You build a strong inner core that can face external chaos. As we conclude Day 3, remember that cultivating flow is not about being productive 24/7 or relentlessly chasing an impossible ideal of constant peak performance. Instead, it is about consciously choosing to spend more of your precious time in states of optimal engagement. Those moments where you feel most alive, most effective, most authentic, and most profoundly aligned with your true potential and purpose. It is about bringing an extraordinary quality of experience to the ordinary moments of your life. Conclusion and your invitation to optimal experience and enduring strength. As we draw this deeply engaging and insightful Day 3 of our wisdom quest to a close, I invite you to take a moment for profound reflection on your own personal experiences with flow. Identify your flow moments. Take a quiet moment today. Think back. When was the last time you truly felt in the zone? What were you doing? What specific conditions were present? Were you alone, with others, in a certain environment? What did it feel like? Experiment with conditions. In the coming hours or days, consciously try to set up just one of the crucial conditions for flow in an activity you typically engage in. Can you clear your workspace of all distractions? Set a very clear, small goal for a short period. Ensure you have immediate feedback, or simply commit to focusing more intently than usual on a single task. Journal your discoveries. I genuinely want to hear about your insights, your personal triggers for flow, and any breakthroughs you experience. In the comments section below, please tell me, what is one activity where you regularly experience flow? Or what is one specific strategy you will try to consciously implement to cultivate more flow in your life starting today? Your reflections are not just for me. They are an invaluable source of inspiration, practical tips, and shared wisdom for our growing community of seekers. Fuel our quest. If this profound exploration of the flow state has resonated deeply within you, if it sparked a new understanding of your immense potential, or if it has simply provided a moment of invigorating clarity, please take a moment to like this video. Your passionate support truly helps us spread this transformative wisdom to even more dedicated seekers around the world. Continue your transformation. This is just day 3 of an incredible, life-altering 30-day journey. Each lesson builds powerfully and synergistically upon the last, guiding you consistently towards profound, lasting growth, authentic purpose, and an optimally engaged life. Do not miss a single pivotal moment. Subscribe to the Wisdom Quest channel right now and activate that notification bell so you are the very first to know when day 4 goes live and your next piece of vital wisdom awaits. Tomorrow, on day 4 of our Wisdom Quest, we'll shift our profound focus to an ancient philosophy that provides immensely powerful, time-tested tools for navigating life's inevitable challenges, adversities, and uncertainties with unwavering resilience, calm equanimity, and profound inner peace. Stoicism, cultivating inner resilience and equanimity. Get ready to discover how to find unshakable strength and serenity amidst external chaos and unpredictability. Thank you for joining me on this deeply engaging and enlightening day 3. Remember, your capacity for optimal experience, for effortless mastery, and for profound joy is inherently within you, waiting to be consciously unleashed. Embrace your flow and prepare to live a life of vibrant engagement, accelerated growth, and profound, enduring satisfaction. Until tomorrow, keep seeking, keep growing, and keep questing for wisdom.